Yeah.
Or at least a slam poet, thanks to Mike and Trish. And so I wrote this
So
poem.
were they.
And I wrote this poem probably about a year ago, roughly. So this poem actually came up because my mom and I were having a conversation and she got really, really mad at me. And she looked at me and she said, "God, I hope if you have a kid and it's a girl, it's exactly like you." And I sort of sat for a second and was just like, I have no idea what that means. And so I actually sat down and wrote a poem about what a kid would be like if they were exactly like me. So, yeah. So the poem is called Like Me. My mother once said to me, if I was to have a daughter, she would be just like me. She'd fall in and out of love like she'd jump between songs, never staying at one artist for too long. She'd hate to read but love to write, and the numbers of pages of notebooks and diaries devoted to he's the one would be too many to be accounted for. And every word she'd write would be medicine for all the times her heart would break and ice cream just couldn't fix it. She'd be a lover, not a fighter, but would kick your ass if you hurt someone she loves because when you break her down to her core, she's a protector. She'd be overly sensitive and hate to let go of friendships because everyone in her life means more to her than they will ever know. She'd be the mother for her friends, the Wendy for the lost boys. She would catch them when they fell, even when it feels like she's a trampoline. And every time she catches them, they go up to come back down. And even when she feels like one more jump and she is bound to break. She'd change what she wants to be more times than you can count. Psychologist, lawyer, doctor, medical examiner, doctor, nurse, pediatrician, forensics. Maybe I'll be me, just bigger. She would pray for adulthood until adulthood was at the door. Hello, hello, the bus is leaving, it would say, and she'd just roll over and say 5 more minutes. She'd wear her heart on her sleeve with her sleeve falling off, offering it to the world, and the world seeing it as a trick, the trickery of kindness. And she will find herself treading in a sea of pessimism and defeat with no sign of land, but she will keep her head above water because she will know better than the rest of them that the world is a good place and true kindness cannot be mixed with trickery because she would be just like her mother. So yeah, and then I have that was actually not one of my favorites. My mom made me promise that I would read that one. So anyway, the other poem is in my back pocket. So, and I actually wrote this one maybe like 3 days ago. So yeah. Here it goes. This one's actually a letter from my younger self, so this one's interesting. When I was young, life was magic. I could feel it from the tips of my fingers down to the tips of my toes, in to the beat of my heart. It was to me more present than the blood within my veins. You see, life didn't need to bleed, didn't have to hurt. And I believed it, that my will was strong enough to make objects move, turn back the clock, hold the very essence of the world in my hand and watch as every possibility would unfold before me because it was my life, my magic. I would sit and watch the stars and you would count them with me. We made the impossible normal because being normal was impossible and we were okay with that. I believed if I balled up a piece of paper, planted it gently, watered it profusely, it would grow into a beautiful tree because death was no concept to me. It was just that in-between stage, that point where dreams and reality meet, and I've been sleeping for far too long, way too many hours logged in a dreamland, where I can stretch my arms around the world and hold it close, where a Band-Aid could cure all loss, and a kiss could make inequality better, the biggest boo-boo of childhood. Yes, I am young, and yes, I am dreaming of a world limited only by imagination, and I know you believed in it once too. Don't shake your head at me. Where has your optimism gone? Was it washed away with the tide when you were first knocked down and you realized you were not 10 feet tall and bulletproof and you would get hurt? Or the first time someone broke your heart, or the 100th time your best friend took you for granted? Love is for grown-ups, they'll tell you. But grown-ups don't know how to love. They'll say, think before you act. But I say, jump right in. Dive heart first so everyone can know how you feel. And maybe they'll feel comfortable enough to tell you how they feel too. There is nothing wrong with being young. There is nothing wrong with dreaming. There is a wisdom to youth, an unabashed creativity that cannot be taught. So when you grow up and have forgotten what love is, haven't dreamed in years and have children of your own, let them love, let them dream, and pray they never lose that wisdom.